What is up, guys? Welcome to the 4th annual 12 Days of Christmas series. I'm so excited to get started, and in today's video we are going to start with a super achievable, fun way to use scraps and a really cost-effective, affordable thing to keep on your vending table if you set up and sell your products. So in today's video we will be making little tassels. Now, I love these little guys, and I think my favorite way to attach them is with these pieces of hardware here that I get from Waywack. They're super affordable and very entry level. You don't need any fancy tools. We're just going to make the actual tassel, and then you put it in here with the screw like that. And I love this hardware specifically because you can attach this to bags or straps or just use it as a regular old keychain because it comes with an attached lobster clasp like that. So I'm going to show you how to make these, but if you don't want to special order any hardware, I will also show you how to use regular key fob hardware to make a nice wide tassel. These are a lot of fun as well, and it's a little bit more to hold on to because it's nice and wide. So we'll be making these today. And then lastly, if you have any of my big strap hardware, I'm going to show you how to make a cute little tassel using these. Now, to attach these to a bag or strap or keys, you will need some sort of jump ring, which you can get online or at any craft store. So without further ado, let's jump right in. Welcome to day one of the 2025 12 Days of Christmas with SewGnar. All right, to make this tassel keychain, you just need a scrap piece of cork vinyl or leather. If it's leather, I definitely recommend skiving the top edge that will go into the hardware. And I'm going to cut a piece that is 3.5 inches wide, and you can cut it as long as you want. If you want this length, I did this at 3 3/4. You could do 4 inches. You could do a little short guy. But if you want a really long, dramatic one, you could do like 8 inches and it would be that long. I think that would be kind of cool. But for like a standard all day size, I think 4 inches or in the neighborhood of 4 inches is great. So I'm going to measure and cut out 3.5 wide by 4 inches tall. Actually, this piece is 4 3/8. I'm just going to leave it at that length. I'm not going to trim that down. But I am going to trim off to ensure that it is only 3.5 inches wide. So now on the wrong side, I'm going to take my marking pen, and I need to leave a section here at the top that is going to go in this area here. Now this is about 1/2 inch. So I'm going to make a mark at 3/8 of an inch. And I know that that is where I will stop cutting my slits to create the tassel. So I'm going to start down at the bottom and I'm going to cut all the way up, and I'm not going to cut in this section here. If it'll make you feel better, you could do 1/2 inch, but I wouldn't go much more than that because you want the illusion to be that the tassels go all the way up. But you don't want it to be so short that if this gets snagged that it's going to rip off and disengage from this little flange up here. So now that I have this, I'm going to make my tassels 1/4 inch wide. If you want them to be 1/8 inch, you'll have a much fuller looking tassel, but I wouldn't recommend making them much thicker than this. But you're just going to use a ruler and either mark all of your lines and then cut with scissors, or you can just cut with a rotary blade like I'm about to do. I'm going to start from the right side and scooch my ruler over 1/4 inch at a time and make my slits. All right, now that we are all cut and ready to go, what I'm going to do is put a piece of double stick tape here in this top flange area. I'm going to use 1/4 inch tape, but 1/8 inch will work as well, totally up to you. So end to end, up above this line, the drawn line here. And then now we're simply going to roll up from the top edge to create a nice thick edge up here. So I'm just barely folding it there to get it started, and then I'm just pulling on all of my old skills from rolling. It's been a long time since I practiced this, but we're just going to roll this as tight as possible. Now I'm trying to keep my top edge as even as possible as well. I don't want it to be all crazy. I want it to be nice and flush. So this is what we're left with. And then now we simply need to put this end on the inside of the cap here. And so I'm just going to remove my screw. And then if you want to, you can add a little bit of glue here on the inside of the cap. And I will be doing that, but just be sure that you don't overflow it. You don't need a ton. And you have to keep in mind that as soon as you put your tassel in there, it's going to push out. And you don't want it to make a big mess like I did on my green one. So again, make sure it's nice and tight. And then something else I'm paying attention to is this end here. I don't want that to be right at the screw hole. I want that to be away from the screw hole because I want to make sure that whenever I add that screw, that hardware, that it is going to catch the entire piece. Now I do want it to be close. So I have the end of my tassel right here on the right, about 3/16 from the screw hole there. Once you get it exactly where you want it, we just need to add the screw into the screw hole. If you have an electric screwdriver, this is really helpful, but it won't drive it all the way in. I mean, maybe yours will, mine won't. Now these electric screwdrivers are really cool, but I find that they only have a certain amount of uses. You can see it got it about 1/3 of the way in, and then I'm just gonna have to use old trusty here, analog, and hand crank. All sorts of jokes in this video today. So after you do some old-fashioned hand cranking, you just want to make sure that your screw is flush with the hardware, and then just like that, your tassel is complete. Now to make this tassel using the hardware that I sell on my website, we are going to mess with the measurements just a little bit. And before we get started, I do want to talk about all the different ways that you can make this. So you can use the hardware as I sell it with the D-ring and the plate and create one that looks just like this. And you'll have to clip this to a lobster clasp. The way that I attach these to bags is on the removable crossbody strap. I just clip this right on there. But if you want to, you can take this section and you can put it directly onto a 3/4 inch wide lobster clasp, and then we'll fold it down. You can do it on the D-ring, you can do it on a rectangle ring, and you can also do it on these cool little triangle rings. They fit in there. So any piece of 3/4 inch wide hardware you can use with this to create this style over here. Okay, so we have our piece of cork. So slightly bigger, we're going to do 4 inches by 4 inches. And then on the back side, we're going to make our flange mark. And I'm going to bump it to 1/2 inch for this guy here. And that's because I want to make sure that I have enough room to attach my rivet way down here and not intersect my cuts for my tassel. So 1/2 inch. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did before, 1/4 inch slices all the way up and all the way across. All right, so just like before, all the way up to that line. Now on some of them, I didn't make it quite all the way up, so you can come back in with scissors and just snip. I like to exercise caution with my rotary blade because I don't want to accidentally go over the line. I'd rather have to come back and supplement the snips. Okay, and then the same thing, we're gonna add some tape here on this little area up top. And then now rather than fold it in a circle, we're going to fold it flat. And so my first fold is going to be just about 1/2 inch. You don't wanna do a full 1/2 inch because as we fold it, it is going to get wider, and we don't want it to be wider than the piece of hardware itself. So I'm going just under 1/2 inch, ensuring that my top edge is nice and flush, and then just rolling along like so. Now I did run into a little problem here. This is not what you want because if you try to adhere that into the hardware, this is going to stick out. So you have two options here. You can cut off your last little piece, it's one last section there, or you can unroll and re-roll. And it's not going to harm anything if you unroll, re-roll. It's also not going to be an issue if you snip it off. It's totally up to you. I'm going to opt to just cut it. I'm just going to fold this section back, and then this last tassel cut, I'm just going to bring all the way up to the top. And then again, being mindful of where this edge hits. I know that it will be okay where my rivet goes in, but if it's right in the center, you want to do some adjusting as well. All right, now that we have the tassel prepared, we need to get our hardware prepared. So I'm just going to bend it like I do to use it over the edges of bags as well. So I'm bending it over a thick acrylic piece. Just a rough edge. I don't need it to be perfect because whenever we attach the rivet, it will clamp it down. So add the hardware that you're going to use and then figure out your placement. So again, I don't want to be so far down that I'm going to intersect with my cuts here. So I'm going to back it up slightly. There's about 1/8 of an inch gap between the top of the tassel and the hardware here. And then I'm just ensuring that it's nice and centered before I make my mark with my pen. And there it is. Now, if everything looks good, go ahead and punch your hole using a hand punch or whatever tool you have to do that. And then we're going to slide our hardware back over everything, add a rivet and the cap. And then we want to set the rivet using whatever tools you have on hand. And then in the process of setting the rivet, it crimps down the hardware fully so that it is nice and flat and smooth curved. All right, and last up, we have the traditional key fob hardware. So this is 1 inch wide and it crimps around whatever you want it to fit. So it's going to be similar to the way that we made this one, except we're going to make it wide enough to fit the width of this hardware. As I said, it's 1 inch. So we're going to make our flange mark at the top. So this piece of hardware is not super tall. Let's see. So it's about 3/8 of an inch. So that's the mark that we'll make here. And so this is how I would approach any piece of hardware that I wanted to add a tassel to. You just need to measure the width and then measure the height of the hardware and then kind of come up with how thick you want your tassels to be. So in terms of this one, I cut it 5 inches wide by 4 inches tall because I think that'll give me a nice length, and it should be a nice thickness, but not super thick. It'll be enough to hold on to when it's attached to your keys, but not overwhelming that it takes up a ton of space. So just like all the other ones, I'm going to start from the right and make my cuts moving to the left. All right, everything looks great there. So I'm going to add my tape across the top. And then again, I need it to be 1 inch wide. So I'm going to start just under 1 inch for my fold here. It's like right about 7/8 or so. And then just keep it taut and keep it rolling. All right, so that ended at a good spot. It's not right in the center and it's nice. It's a nice thickness and it'll fit within the hardware. So I think that that looks phenomenal. We are just going to crimp this piece of hardware around it using whatever tools you have on hand. I do not have the traditional press plates for this, but just going to use my regular rivet press here. I used to have a pair of pliers that I had tape wrapped around so that it wouldn't mar the hardware, but we're just gonna use this guy. There we go. Easy as pie. So there we go with the traditional key fob hardware tassel. Here is the D-rings that I saw on my website. And then these cool tassel hardwares that I got from Waywack. All right, that concludes day one of the 2025 12 Days of Christmas series. I am so excited to roll these videos out to you. I had a lot of fun curating this year's list, and I hope that you love it as much as I do. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and drop a comment below and let me know which kind of keychains you like to make, and I will see you back here tomorrow for day two.